Today we're catching up with Samuel Bennett, one of Essex's highest performing athletes, ahead of his opportunity to represent Team England at the Commonwealth Games. Samuel, we're here at Basildon Sporting Village, your stomping ground. For those that may not know you, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Samuel Bennett. I'm a 110-metre hurdler from Essex. I am a Harvard graduate, studied in America, and now I'm back in the UK, like you say, training in Basildon, training in Essex again, and ready for Commonwealth Games.
What discipline is it that you compete in?
110-metre hurdles.
And then what moment did you realise that you could compete at a high level?
Well, that's a story that goes a long way back, to be honest. I've been running since the age of about 14 or 13. I went to Southend High School for boys, and if you know that school, they push you into sport pretty hard if you are talented or even just want to try hard. And I've always kind of been that person, even in primary school. I used to come to this track and do district sports, believing I was the fastest kid. Whether or not I was, I'm not actually sure. But yeah, so that's been a long time coming. I also have the British record for the under-18 hurdles, which I set when I was 17 years old in Hungary at the European Youth Games or Youth Championship. So that was kind of the first major GB representation, and I did the Commonwealth Youth Games in the Bahamas the year before. So there's kind of been little stepping stones along the way and little signs of hope, or at least some excitement. And yeah, basically they just kind of keep me pushing. And this year I won the British Championships for the first time, and it kind of gives me a reassurance that I can keep going.
So going back to when you were younger, who have been some of the biggest influences on your journey?
I'd have to say Steve, my coach. Anybody who knows me knows Steve. We kind of come as a pair, and everybody's always said, "Oh, who are you going to coach with when you're back?" And it's always Steve Surety, and he's been a part of this club for years. So with his parents, and they were a part of my training journey when I was 13, 14, and joining his training group. So he's the first person that kind of taught me how hard track can be, at the same time as being really fun and just enjoying winning. Obviously, my parents are a massive deal. They support me massively, and I think that going to living in different places and seeing how other people have to work harder or have to put themselves in a different position and under a different amount of pressure when they don't have that support, it is become increasingly evident to me that my parents support, and they kind of just trust me to chase my dream and give me that opportunity to do it. So yeah.
You spoke about your parents there, so how would your family and friends describe you away from the track?
Insane or obsessed or just weird, to be honest. Like I say, I'm a Harvard graduate. I believe in academics. I studied for a long time when I was in school, when I was in university, and I always did that as a kind of a fallback for whether or not athletics didn't work. And I've always said I'll do athletics until the wheels fall off. You start getting to an age where all of your friends graduate and go and take these massive jobs, six-figure bonuses, amazing jobs, and you think, should I have been doing that? And my friends and my family kind of look at me in the same way and think, yes, those are the opportunities that are there in the professional working world, but kind of to continue chasing this dream when it's not paying me much and it's not guaranteed, I would probably just say, weird and insane, or stubborn, one of the two.
Obviously, every athlete's journey comes with challenges. What have been some of the biggest obstacles that you've had to overcome to reach this point?
Honestly, everybody that would describe me as injury prone. So like I say, 2017 and 2018 were my big youth years and set those British records. Since then, I've had torn both my hamstrings, had a hamstring surgery, had endless issues. Most recently, I had a knee injury in December that took me out of running for 3 months. It's constant and kind of endless, the amount of injuries I've had, but they kind of just became the norm. And I actually said something a year or two ago that being off the track became more normal to being on the track, and it was weird to compete. And that's something that's been a big deal this year. I've been racing loads and competing loads, and I think it's helped me, obviously, time-wise and performance-wise, but it also helps that mentality of understanding what it feels like to be in a race. It's no longer foreign. So, finally getting back to feeling like it's normal again.
Can you take us back to the moment you found out you'd been selected to represent Team England? What was going through your mind?
Honestly, I was actually at a Barclays event. I was at a athlete transition into the professional working world, into finance event. I applied for it when I was deeply depressed this year and decided I thought I was going to not be doing athletics anymore, and wanted to be in a position come the end of the track season, whether I was running or not, that I could kind of transition smoothly into a real job. So I signed up for that months ago when I wasn't running, and I was actually in the toilet on a break during that program. I got the call, and it was a familiar voice, and I knew the familiar voice, whether it was going to be positive or negative from the first few words. So I was really excited, and it kind of ruined my morning knowing that the call was coming. Some of my friends had had the call the night before. So it was very relieving.
You spoke about mental health issues there. So how do you kind of stay more resilient in those tougher moments?
Yeah, I think that obviously the way that you say it is interesting. Calling it mental health issues has been a thing that I always grappled with when I was younger, and I think that now that I've gone through my own journey of it, I think that it now is just normal mental health. Understanding that everybody has those ups and downs, and the struggles that you go through are your own perceived experience. And I've talked about how lucky I am with the support that I've got and the parents that I've have. And ultimately, yes, my struggle hasn't been the same as other people's, but like I say, it can only be as hard as it feels like for you. I think that I've been talking with my psychologist recently about understanding where I am, where I'm going, and where I've been, and the importance of being where my feet are at right now. I can really get caught up in where I want to go, and that pushes anxiety, and I get nervous about things, and thinking about the past can bring fears up. And I think that just having that understanding of that I am present, knowing what I need to do in that moment, has been really important, and the best thing for me at the moment.
Representing your country is something that obviously many athletes dream about. What does wearing the Team England vest mean to you personally?
Um, it's really important and really special. It holds a lot more weight than just running for your club. I run for Basildon AC and I wear my bright yellow vest and blue stripes on it all across the world. And don't get me wrong, I'm proud to do it. And it is really special. However, having a England vest or a GB vest on means that people in the crowd don't know your name and they'll support you, they'll cheer for you, they'll shout for you and clap. And I'm competing in the London Diamond League this summer in a 60,000 sold out in the West Ham Stadium. So that is the first experience I'm going to get of hearing the crowd supporting somebody that they don't necessarily know or know their story or their journey, but they just support them because they affiliate with Team England as opposed to just seeing a random English guy out there in a Basildon vest.
How do you balance pride with the pressure that comes with selection?
I think that pride is really interesting, and I'm a very outspoken and confident person, as you can tell. And I think that um, in the past, I didn't always appreciate all of the moments and all the achievements I had, and something that has kind of been my motto for the year has been to cherish every moment, no matter how small or how big it is, whether it's a win or a loss. And that's something that a lot of athletes struggle with. When I was younger, like I say, I have a British record for the under 18 hurdles. And at the time, it was an amazing achievement. But kind of 2 or 3 days later, when the dust had settled very quickly, I was over it and I was on to the next thing. And that ultimately, when it gets taken away from you, you realize how special it was and how you could have made a massive deal out of it. And you should be proud of it. So now I'm kind of just trying to be proud of my achievement. When I get that call, sometimes I have to pinch myself. Sometimes I have to have the people around me remind me of, I kind of set my sights on this achievement 9 years ago in 2017 when I was at the Commonwealth Youth Games. And even 185 days before the selection date, I made a video saying, I have 185 days to get to the Commonwealth Games. And I did it. So just understanding that that's where I wanted to go. I've achieved what I wanted and I should be proud of it. And don't get me wrong, I'm excited for the Commonwealth Games and I do need to set my sights on that, but knowing where I'm at and appreciating what a big of achievement it is really important too.
Alongside representing England, you're also representing Essex. We're here at Everyone Active in Basildon. How important is that local connection to you?
Honestly, it's a really big deal. I used to live 7 minutes away from here, so really special, and I've always been very connected to this track. Like I say, it's amazing to have the support of Active Essex, Active Basildon, and kind of everyone around here. I feel really connected because of my coach, Steve. He's always been a Basildon athlete. He's Steve Surety, Val Surety. They've always been a part of the track, and even Steve's dad. He has always been a part of it for me. So it really is a sense of community. And whether or not I see these people, I don't always get to compete for the club when I'm in America or abroad. But yeah, wearing the Basildon vest is really special, and it's close to home, like I say.
What does being an elite athlete mean to you?
Sometimes I forget I'm an elite athlete, and it takes for the people around me to give me a reminder, remind me that yes, I won the British Championships, I'm top whatever percent in the world ranked, and ultimately it just becomes your day-to-day achievements. But realistically, like I say, I think I have to cherish every moment and every win and understand that I've been working towards this for a long time, and all of those decisions and hard work and decisions that I've made that sometimes I don't even realize the significance of are going towards something, are going towards me living out my dream. And this selection for Commonwealth Games and hopefully the Europeans this summer is just a step in that right direction as well.
Looking ahead, what are your goals and expectations for the Commonwealth Games?
So this year I've had to learn how to win again, and that's been really interesting. Previously I kind of felt foreign on the track and I didn't really know what was going on, and I was matching other people's rhythms around me and getting lost in the race. But now I'm going into every single competition and race truly believing that I can win, and I'm wanting to do the best that I can. I think that's been really important. Has changed how I've approached competition, races, and just myself in general and my own self-confidence. I think the same thing goes for the Commonwealth Games. I'm excited to go out there, do my best. I think that I've already proven this year that I can turn up when it matters, and I'm continuing to run faster and faster every race, so I don't see why there'll be any difference this time. So yeah, ultimately I want to go out there, get a medal, go for the win and win every race, whether it's a battle with myself or the other people around me.
For our younger viewers, what message would you like to share with young athletes who are working towards their sporting dreams?
My motto is to keep going. I've got it tattooed on me somewhere, keep going, keep growing. And I think that every lesson, every win or every loss has pushed me back or uplifted me in some way. And I think that ultimately you just have to keep going, chase your dream, chase something that you believe that you really do want, love or deserve. And ultimately it will happen. It might not be what it looked like. It might not be what you thought it would look like, but it will happen in the end.
Sam, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your journey. It's been great to hear from you, and good luck for the Commonwealth Games.
Thanks very much.